Hey ladies and gents, we are back with some Avorion, and we're looking at low-cost, high HP stations and mines. Typically when you build these things, you have to remember that you have to pay costs for crew and all that kind of stuff. So for the most part, we're going to look at player menu here. For example, Home Depot is the biggest one. Well, it's got 7 million cargo space, and I'm paying out just about 3 million credits every 3 hours. My biggest ship, I think, is like almost 20 million credits per every 3 hours. But if you build multiple mines, multiple stations, you can add up pretty quickly how quickly you pay for what you're paying for in cost-wise. In fact, if we look, where is the Home Depot at? Oh, he's on the other side. Well, anyway, Home Depot, like I said, is my biggest station with like 3 million, not quite 3 million, and it's got 15 million HP. And I don't even have run shields on it because it's just that high in HP. If I would have built that station out of just material to get that 15 HP, we're talking hundreds and hundreds of thousands of materials and millions of credits to get that big. But since it's based off an asteroid does not require any maintenance. Therefore, you don't need a bunch of crew on those kind of ships. This particular station, when I started, and you'll look at what I'm talking about here, I built it. We should look at that at the shipyard. We're going to build a ship here from the shipyard. I did it for this video. I did it here from just halfway. They scaled it halfway, 1.5 and 725. So it was about 375,000 or 275,000, 400,000, somewhere in there, and about 30 to 40,000 neonite. Now I usually build about this size because it gets a little bit more of a crew for me when I first start out. However, you can drop that down by quite a bit and make it even just a single block if you want to. I usually put it down this far to give it at least some engines to get around. But we were talking cost of 78 nanonites. If you don't take it very far, this is the kind of thing you want to do because it's super cheap to go this route instead of going to the middle or even to the high end. Because once you get it there, you're going to want to transform it, at least in my opinion. So we're going to put this one at 3 or 4, 3, and we're going to have it build them. The bigger you make it, the longer it takes to build. So this one's going to be, relatively quick. 5 minutes, 20 seconds to build. This one right here took like 8 minutes just because I made it a little bit bigger. However, so you're spending, and we're going to look at the cost of what this costs here, which is 46,000 neonites and 400,000 credits. This is why I usually go with the smaller size if it's in system. It's going to cost you nothing. Now, what you get for 46,000 neonite and 400,000 credits, you get 24,000 HP and 22,000 hull and a whopping 882 for cargo holds. And you're also crew paying 3,700 credits. Now, to me, this is not much of a bargain because 24,000, 22,000 shield is not going to do dick, especially if you get toward the center of the galaxy. Even on the outer side edges, you're going to run into stuff that's going to take this relatively quick. And with that very small cargo holds, you're looking at, for example, this is going to be full here. It's only 186,000. Even at one volume of 1, and I haven't even got the upgraded to put out to make this production faster. If I did, this thing would be full all the time, and it wouldn't be producing. Small HP, small cargo hold, high cost. However, there is a way around, and you've noticed in all my videos, almost everything I've gone to is usually based off an asteroid for a reason. Like I said, asteroids, rock does not require any sort of maintenance. So this ship right here, or this station I should say, which is a gas collector, is saved off of this one right here. So 8,000 iron and 21,000 titanium with a cost of 65,000. So when you get your first ship and you move out and you replace this design with the other from the design that you got from the shipyard, you're going to get back all your materials. You're not going to necessarily get all your credits. So this is what I was saying, is you might want to make your ship real small till you get out there, and then you want to get bigger. The reason why I go with the this kind of design is because it's super low cost, but you get a massive amounts of hull, 2.2 million hull by using all this rock. And you also notice that I have a cargo hold of actually it's 5,000. I have a system on here, but 5,000 cargo hull. So roughly, 6 times bigger than the other one. And of course, my crew pay is 2,400 credits, which of course is cheaper. So in the long run, with the larger HP, the larger cargo hold, this is by far way cheaper to go with this route than it is with the building the station from actual material like neonite, trinium, xanium, and ogonite. It's going to save you cost in building the station. It's also going to save you cost in crew pay. So this one I've changed up a little bit here. We'll delete that, and you can see inside is where I put. There's the titanium and just a small little titanium crew quarters. And if you go to the ship here, you can see with the 5,000 I was talking about carries a lot more material, waiting for, of course, people to come get it. Now, when you're building your stations and you're building your mines, you got to remember where you're building at. If you're building in a specific area that needs that material or whatever, you do not need a large cargo bay. So if you have a mine in here that's getting visited a lot, you don't need the maximum you can put on any material is 25,000 on a ship. So you can put a cargo bay of 25,000, but that's a lot of crew to maintain that block of material. So you don't need a 25,000 if you're in a space or an area where there is, and we're talking the low-end factories and mines. You get into the higher stuff, like say for the mining robots and stuff, you're going to need more capacity because you have to have the material to make the product. So there's going to be a lot more material involved. So you're going to have to get a little bit bigger. But the low-end factories, solar plants, that kind of stuff, mines and stuff, you don't need that kind of. I wish I would have known this. I have a lot of ones that I've been switching back to these smaller sizes because they buy the material so fast, but I'm paying the cost for having that large amount of cargo bay. And if you do, like I said, this, with just 5,000, this is plenty for this thing. They're buying it quicker than the plant can produce. And if you want to, if you really need to increase your cargo, you can, of course, use just by going to systems. Here I put a small one in here with 23% of the original number of 5,000, so I'm up to 6,305. If I want to go for another, if I want to go bigger yet, I can put another one for a cargo hold and install permanently, and now I'm up to 7,100. And then what this does is it increases your cargo capacity without paying for the materials and the maintenance on it. However, you saw that I'm putting the systems in, it kicks up the required energy. Now, for obviously with the energy up as high as it is, I need to put some generators on here to kick up the amount of generated energy. Typically, you would use, for example, the generator block, titanium generator. However, you're actually better off using solar panels. Solar panels are much easier. They require almost no maintenance, but they also still produce, so if I would have put one on here just to see if I can get up, see now we pick up to 1.11 gigawatts, but we've added just a little bit for the mechanics, and we'll look at that. Oh, I'm sorry, we added for 1. Now, if that would have been for example, a generator, it might have kicked it up 2 or even 3. So yeah, using solar panels is the cheaper option there to keep your low cost down on these ships or on these factories to produce. Like I said, the less amount of material, the less amount of money invested in these stations, the better. I mean, in the end, you're going to be able to, obviously these are $10 million stations to start with, but yeah, you can keep the cost down and of course keep the crew costs down. In the long run, you're going to end up making more money by building the stations with the low-cost, high HP. I'm not worried about leaving the station with no shields. Like I said, with 2 million HP, by the time something gets to here to even screw with it, it's going to take them a while to go through 2 million. Iron also has the benefit of being immune to any electrical weapons, which if you had something on the shields, for example, that station back over there that had 24,000, it's going to take 1 or 2 zaps from electrical weapons, and the shields are going to be down anyway. But with the 2 million versus the 24,000, of course, this is going to survive much longer than that smaller station. Granted, if you get railguns involved, fucking all bets are off. It could melt this station. It's going to melt that station a lot quicker. This one might survive a little bit longer, but railguns are a whole different fucking story. They just OP as in general. So, something to think about when you're building your stations is going with the rock base. Now, you don't have to use, I use asteroids I collect in game. You can simply just build your station out of actual titanium rock. Using this material, it's super cheap compared to a similar size block of blank hull, or what I'm saying, where if you build it small enough. But the cost of that, if we do with iron, but yeah, the cost of it is a lot cheaper in the long run. It gives it much more HP using the rock. So you can usually actually build it out of your own material here. However, if you want to use like the asteroids that I use, and you don't have one yet, or you haven't claimed an asteroid yet, go to creative in Avorion. Go claim a asteroid in creative, which because there's no money involved there. Claim the asteroid and simply save it to your save designs right here. Save the current design. So once you claim the asteroid in creative, you can save the design here. It'll stay in your save designs, and you can bring it back to the game that you're playing. Super easy. And of course, if you don't like this cost, you can always simply scale it. I'm sorry, not scale. Modify. Yeah, you can scale your ship down a little bit if you don't want to spend that much money. I already dropped 25,000 credits. Iron and I'll say we'll apply this, and we'll still drop the 1.4 million, and it's made it even cheaper. So yeah, there's all kinds of options here to try to drop your costs on stations and mines. So with that said, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go for the night, and we will try to get some more stuff up for you guys. Okay, have a good night, guys.